I will welcome in officially, guys. Friday, August 8th, 9:41 in the morning Central Time. And I'm your host, Gerardo G. Money Pies. These calls, as always, right, are for educational purposes only. Any trade idea or suggestion, it is trade at your own risk. So make sure to know how to manage your accounts and trade with proper lot size. All right, guys. So the quick review with gold, right? Gold is it's Friday here, trying to wrap up on this range, and is trying to decide, if it's gonna finish selling, finish buying. I was in favor of buys first. I would want it for price to get above 34.02. The feeble indicator came out, gave us a few pips, but it completely reversed it. It happens. And now I think we're established below this 33.87 range. And I think it would like to go to 33.72. Why 33.72? Because that's the range of the price action for New York. So if I go on to the sessions template, okay, of the indicator, alrighty. So these average, so again, we're stuck in the Asian session. That's the worst part. New York is stuck in the Asian party. Is what it is. Okay. However, right, the momentum or the price movement per day or per New York session is what I focus on right here. All right. So the top of this box is the New York high. The average movement, for New York on the last 21 days is about 332 pips. Okay, ignore these numbers on the right hand side. 332 pips. So if that's the high of New York, from the high of New York to 332 pips, well, let's put it right at 30. Okay, that is 33.72, give or take. Okay, so that's the range, the stamina price had. Now, if it wants to complete its average of 21 days of the day, the start of the day is up here, this wick. Let me just put it from the high of Asia. And then you go down 442 pips right there. And it takes you to the low of yesterday, which puts you at 33.66, give or take. So again, those are the targets. That's how I read targets and so forth. Um, that's how I kind of forecast my destinations just on this. Okay. Once I do that, then I go into candlesticks and then I kind of look for those ETM candlesticks, structure, momentum, and all the good stuff. But you got to give yourself a target first, guys, right? It's like almost anything in life. You got to give yourself a goal to shoot for. Okay. We can't look at all the excuses first, all the technicalities, all the ETM candles, all the liquidity zones, fair value gaps. We got to set a goal first. Okay, where I want to go, and then how do I get there? And that's basically how I map up these charts, right? It gives me a clue. It gives me an idea. Okay, the price wants to do that based on the averages that it does. So I am more favor of the sales. It's going to be very choppy simply because we're inside the Asian session. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it's part of it too. I'm happy either way, but let's go ahead and see what's going on right here. Okay, let me do this. Go to brand new chart. All right, perfect. So again, this is the last 17 hours of price action. We're going to be going over um, the indicator, all the updates that it has, and all the inputs and settings. I am more in favor of the sell. Okay, we are breaking below these resistance areas that I have, 23% levels. Again, our strategy is very simple. You take the last 17 hours, can you go in the direction of the color of the box, right? And it's down. Alrighty, it's down. Actually, Okay, it's down for now. Okay, perfect. You guys know how that 23% has been money, has been like a resistance level, a support level in either direction. So on the big box, I actually removed the midline. All right. And I just created two 23% levels. Okay, so if you guys see it here on the right hand side, this line right here is perfectly lines up to 23%, which simultaneously it's almost the 78% level. So 23% is kind of like the inverse, right? It's the inverse of 78%. All right. So that's why this works. Now, if this box was bullish, okay, if this box was bullish, we fib the other way. You fib from low to high, and then I'll just switch the color to blue, right? And then that level above is now the 23%. Okay, that's how you read that. Yesterday I actually took a sell after I submitted the code. I took a sell, I think before or after, and I took profit at this level of 78%. I'm so glad I did because look what happened afterwards overnight. Okay. Then I thought it pumped up more. That's why it went. Right. Yeah, okay, that's all it went. But still, it went up pretty good. Okay. So again, those those zones that I have here, guys, like literally, we can just stay on the 5 minute and just trade from it. Like you really can. We have enough information to read structure. I added these projection lines. Okay, I added these projection lines, so that's how far low price can go. Okay, so again, if you fib high to low in this bearish movement down, okay, there goes the extensions that we like to trade towards. So the few updates that I did do right is that I was able to code properly the three boxes and what they communicate to us. Okay, so the code in the past, the big box used to turn red or blue, bullish or bearish, depending on the midpoint of the 52. If it was below, it turns red. If it was above, it turns blue. But I changed that. And I think USD JPY yesterday had a had a good example of this. Let me show you guys. All right, perfect. Is this it? No, that's not it. All right, perfect. Yes, this is it right here. So notice here, this box is red. In the past, it used to be red because this green line here, or the 52, was below the midpoint of that. That's how I used to turn red. But in reality, the big box is supposed to read structure. It's supposed to find the highest point and the lowest point. And because we're going in this direction, it should be red. And I was able to code that now. That's what's being coded. It's going to stay red. Okay, here it is. Check this out right there. Okay. You see how the box remained red? Why is it red? Because of what I mentioned. The highest point and the lowest point inside the frame is in that direction. The green line, or the 52 line, is above the midpoint, correct? In the past, they used to turn it blue, but not anymore. Not anymore. So That is a big leap forward, in my opinion, with the 204 box. Okay. So now, so basically the boxes, we have 3 color options now. Okay, 3 color options. The 52 does go turn blue because of that rule that we had before. Okay, the 52, the last 52 candlesticks from the 5-minute chart, or the 2-minute or the 5, because it's above the averages, because the midline average is above there, they'll turn blue. All right. Now, correct. That is exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. The color of the 204 box determines if we fit up or down. Yes. Okay. So if it's a red box, you start at, what is it, 1-0? Is that correct? Yes. 1-0. 1-0. Keep my eye here on gold. It's fine. Okay. 1-0. This blue box is telling us, okay, the momentum is a little bit strong, but this line up here, that is our sell high line. Okay, that is our sell high line. That's one note that I hear. Okay, that's our sell high line. We could potentially put an entry there at the 78% or 23% over there. Okay, stop loss at the high, and first take profit at that line right there. Okay, that's one way you can approach it. However, it's not ready yet, right? Why is it not ready? Because the momentum is still bullish. So the momentum now, guys, the momentum, it actually changes much faster. I think it's better that way because it's supposed to change that way. The momentum is the little box, and we're basically waiting for the midpoint to get below the green one, the green one. There it is. Okay. Now we got momentum in our favor. Okay. Now we got momentum in our favor in that scenario. Ideally, we want this one to also turn red to really confirm. But as an example, that's how everything's moving. It just turned momentarily and it went back up. So again, the momentum is very strong. You can say, you know what, I'm not going to play this setup. Let's clean it out. But that is how it works, guys. I really do like this. Okay, I really do like these updates. So again, see how we changed here. We changed here from now blue, Diana, because now the lowest point is down here and there. Okay. What I've noticed for entry, just going off your comment there, David, is we want to enter in 2 places, right? At these levels, that's our best entries, at those equilibriums, or that's why I made this line green, the 52 bucks. We want to enter when price balances out there and take it higher. Okay. That is ideally our best entry when price balances it out. Okay. If it doesn't balance it out, well, it does. All right. Let me go back over here to gold. And give you guys some more examples on how we use this. And then we'll also go through the settings right there. Okay. So we have 3 boxes, the 204 box, the 52 box, and the 17 box. Okay. You have the option when you open up your indicator If you go down to the bottom, you have the option to change whatever color you want. So if you like, green as your bullish, a different red as a bearish, you can. Okay. And you can change all that. I just realized it. Bullish. Okay, perfect. That's right. So I need to up this moves the colors of this down here as well. Okay. But we have a lot of customization options there for that part. All right. So in this scenario here for gold, okay, in this scenario for gold on the 5-minute chart, the structure is bearish, right? The momentum is still slightly bullish. You guys know why, right? Because this midpoint line here is above there. But again, though, right? If this were an entry, we're in the best area to enter because we're very near the green line. Okay, very near the green line. So that'll be a decent entry there. Stop loss is always at the high of that medium box. And then you take profit based on the fib levels or these projection lines that I have there for you guys. Okay. So what are the, excuse me, what are these projection lines? And they're right here. So the momentum at a glance, you turn this off and on. The projection lines are these blue and red lines. Okay. You can also turn them off and on. They will change based on on the chart you're in. So I made a little note here. Okay. And it all goes back to the averages of price. Price likes to move in, a certain range per day, per hour, etc. So this is calculating taking into account this up here. Okay. The projection lines. So on average, gold likes to move, the last 21-day average is 441 pips. Okay. So right now I have it set up to where if you see there, it says gold, pairs handle. So uses current average pip ranges for this pair. Market conditions can change over time. Use manual override if actual greater averages differ. So we have an actual way to override it. Okay. So the pairs handle. So for gold, I have 450, right, as the red projection, and I went with the last 21 days average, okay, give or take, and then I took about 80% of that, and that's 350. So their gold, it's 350 to 450 range. GU, Euro USD, GJ, and UJ are also there when you change. Alrighty, guys. So what does this mean? This simply means that it's always taking the high of the box. From the high of the box to the first blue line, that should be 35 pips. And there it is. Okay. To the red one, it's 445, 450 pips. There it is. The ones above as well do the same thing. 35, 45. All right. And this right here is letting you know how many pips it has moved. So this entire box is 286 pips. Give or take, right? Or $28. Okay. I also added another feature. I have it on. I have it off. Default, but you can turn it on. The notes ranges. If you turn it on, it'll give you some more detail, like so. Let me make the. You can also make these fonts change colors down here. Let's make the text larger, and let's just color it an actual dark font. Perfect, right there. So there it is. It's moved 286 pips. Gold's high-low range is between 360 and 450. That was 360. I need to update that note. SMT is in good range. Look for setups. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, you got to find other examples. Okay. Yes, it is. Perfect. All right, so check this out, guys. Okay. So here, right, this is that Tuesday class that we bought because the momentum was very strong. Remember, I actually a very good example here. Let's recap this one. Okay. Let's recap this one. All right. So SMT is in good range. Look for setups. All right. So which direction do we fib from high to low, right? Because it's red. Perfect. But again, though, it doesn't mean that we stay married to the cells. We got to read the momentum, correct? And there goes the 23% level. If price stays below the 23% level, we sell. If it goes a little higher, right, we sell higher, at least at fair value price, and then let it break the 23%. And then from there, right, we can sell it. But if the momentum really shifts, is going to get its first stopping point right there. And then from there, it'll do something like that. Right? We do this every single time, right? We do this every single day, every single time. Okay, rinse and repeat this scenario. All right, so let's see what happens. We'll hit play. All right, momentum got there really strong. You got to about 50%. Are we going to get a reaction? No reaction at all. All right, perfect. All right, so maybe all of this was missed. No problem. We closed our losses right there. All right, so now we still have range, right? S&T is still in good range. And the targets are there for us. Okay. So maybe we can do a retest back to here and then take it back up. Okay. That's what it does. It establishes itself above that little line right there. And now it turns blue, but we're already on this trade. And look at that. The moment it touches that first blue line, you see how everything changed? The wording changed. So right now it's this SMT is still good range. The moment it touches it, it reaches, there it goes. Caution. Reach target one, momentum may slow down or pull back. Yeah, that's pretty good in my opinion, right? Just don't look, we're very near the ceiling. Very near the ceiling. Okay, and look at that. Now, again, you don't have to look for the pullback. You don't have to trade pullback. The whole thing is just, waiting. And then, once kind of price gets there, this thing definitely reverse. I have some more coding in there as well that when price actually balances out about 50%. Let's see if it does it here. No, not yet. It didn't do it. Oh, here you go. See how it says reversal complete? We're still in caution one because we've maxed out 450 pips. Wait for momentum to align or range to refresh. So we need the momentum to be in our favor to continue this buy. Or when we get rid of these lows, the range will decrease and then this will get back to normal, like so, right there. You see? And now we're back in normal range. All right, guys. Again, I think I mentioned it last time. Too much TMI for me because I can, in detail, because we got to understand it, but it's good to have, right? It's good to have. And again, though, you can always turn this off or on depending on how much noise you want the market to have there. All right. That's part of that update there. We got the boxes updated to the 23%. The colors changed. We've got the pips moved. If you want to trade other pairs and you want to get a good threshold for them, you can overwrite these. And then just put the pips there as well. And then you can change the colors of your boxes there. This right here, pip range styling is basically the numbers over here. Okay. Um, the pip box, that one you really don't need it because it's basically the other box here. However, I think if you go to like a 15-minute time frame, right, the SMT disappears. But if you want to keep in visual the last 17 hours, that's where that setting comes in. Okay. This right here, your box show pip range box. This is basically always keep it in mind the last 17 hours on all time frames. Okay. On all time frames. And you can color this box as well if you want to. You can this won't change colors. They'll just change based on what you choose. You can just switch the border and so forth. But yeah, if you want to see how this looks in the 4 hour, there it is. Those are the last 17 hours right there. Okay. Let's see what color is that now. Let me refresh the indicator. And remember what I told you guys? See how that green line is the best entry? Um, I think, yeah, no. A lot of times you just because this is an invite only indicator, um, you will always have it inside of invite onlys unless I remove you. Okay. For example, the ones that are currently, in the free trial mode, I have it set to expire at a certain date, and it'll just drop off. There's some that have no expiration, and they won't expire. But yeah, the easiest thing is just remove it from here, refresh your trading view, and add it again. But a lot of times, right, it's like the feeble. A lot of times you just again though you do got to refresh your trading view so you can get the new updates. If you don't refresh your trading view, yeah. So a lot of times I'm always saving, and then I'm always right clicking the tab, and that right there will just kind of refresh the data. Just gotta it's like a lot of refreshing you got to do with these a lot. Okay, and if you don't do the refresh, it won't pick up new information. Okay, it won't pick up new information. But yeah, the update should say SMT Ichimoku 3.9. Okay, that's the newest update from here. I think on the back end, it's the name of the indicator is still SMT Ichimoku with no numbers. Okay, no numbers there. All right, y'all. Any questions or comments? Definitely I and then I'll go over through some examples, and then we can go back and close out here shortly. I did allow you to unmute. So yeah, so for now, yeah, so right now it is a selling scenario. One more thing. So right, these right here, 1 hour is bullish because the 17 mid is above the 52 mid. Okay. The 5-minute is bullish because the 17 mid is above the 52. The 2-minute is bearish because the 52 mid is above the 17. So let's go down to the 2-minute chart. Okay, now the structure inside is bullish, but the momentum is bearish. You see here? So the startup momentum is shifting. So that changes things a lot faster, and I am more happy with that. I am more happy with that. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, this is important to me. Look what's happening, right? That a medium box mid level cannot push price higher. It just won't allow it to. Okay, it's not allowing it to. So I think it wants to go a little bit lower to balance out the market before it makes its next bullish push. So all the buys for this week were here. But as of right now, it just cannot make higher highs. So the momentum here is just not the best. Okay. But yeah, so for gold now, the structure inside is bearish. Okay. We're at the midpoint of the 52. And I think I wasn't sure who was asking. Was it you? I think it was Ms. Zelda Hunter that was asking. I'm not sure she's here today, right? We can read the future of these boxes by reading the candlesticks inside. So we're gonna just focus on the small box. Okay. I am going to do this like so. Okay. So right now it is blue. But again, though, right? Remember, this indicator is derived from the cloud. But one of the things that the cloud can't tell you, just it doesn't allow you to know, okay, when is price really gonna like the structure inside. So this box here, okay, the midpoint is gonna shift down in about 15 minutes. How do I know that? Well, because this candlestick here, the high, and this candlestick here, the wick, the low, that's the range, right? As time moves forward, as we add more candlesticks, this drops off, this drops off. Again, see how the box shifted? This drops off. Whenever this candlestick drops off, the high, excuse me, will drop a little bit to the next wick. Yeah, see that right here? And then when this candlestick drops off, the highest point will then drop to this level. Like so. And when that happens, where is the midpoint? Now the midpoint is going to be below the green midpoint, and therefore turning that bearish. So as of right now, the future of the small box in about 15 minutes will be bearish. So then momentum will shift bearish. Okay. And that happens, it'll give us some confirmation that if we're selling, okay, if we're like in sales because of how the fib is drawn and so forth, they'll give us that confirmation right there. Okay. So we're at the 38% level. We're at the green area. So if the momentum wants to be our friend, that is a entry, stop loss, We always use the 52 as our entry, stop entry and stop loss, and then the extensions for the zones as our take profits. So it's all there, guys. It's all there for us. It's just a matter of knowing how to read this. Okay. And if it works, we win. If it doesn't, you accept the loss. We're going to win more times than we lose. 80% is kind of what I'm shooting for in the correct direction. And we've been hitting those numbers pretty good. Okay. Pretty good. So now we have this markup here. Now we can potentially find a little bit more confirmation. All right. So we got on the 30-minute chart, we got this nice engulfing candle, break a structure candle. We're about halfway there. On the 1 hour chart, it's not the best for me there. 30 minutes. We already checked the 30 minutes. Let's check the 20. Nice engulfing candle there. We're about 50% of it. Same thing, another nice break of structure there. We're about 50% of that candlestick. Indicator for now. And got a nice little drop base drop right here in the 2-minute chart. Right there. All right. And then we turn the system back on the 5-minute. That's how it looks. All right. So our entries are based on the medium box, 50% of that, and the green line, that's one of them. Or you can adjust to where you see some ETM price action or any other type of candle confirmation. You can do that. Okay, you can do that right there. Perfect. I'm gonna put an alarm right here just in case it goes higher. Then I'm gonna put an alarm down there. And then you can use this. The projections are not set for all the pairs. They're not set for all the pairs. But you can use this on any pair you would like. For example, let's take a look at the GBP JPY. Okay. So right now and again, the thresholds change. Inside of the last 204 candlesticks an hour, this is where we're at right now. Okay. This is where we're at right now. Okay. It is a bearish impulse at the moment, but we're establishing ourselves above the 78%, which is the inverted 23%. Okay. However, on lower time frames, we're more bullish. Okay. We're more bullish. So let's see how this price escalated to the top side. At this point. Okay. You see, at this point, we're no longer looking at left on the 5-minute chart, right? Because the momentum is bullish on the 5. Okay. Our left now is not over here. Our left now is these levels. All right. So we hit play. Let's focus on the green line. Price balance out the green line. See what happens. And that's an important note right here, guys, too. Remember, if the green line does not take price up, yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Okay, there it is. Right there. So ideally, right, our entries are right here. Stop loss down there. Take profit. Okay. this line is always going to be moving, right? So in this example, see how the green line pumped up and balanced it out there, but we're actually buying a little bit too high. The range has not adjusted itself. So the first idea to buy is still in a good scenario because we're in between the 38 and 50%. But ideally, we do want to buy in those scenarios, okay, because that's where the momentum can take off. But if it doesn't, it will come back, buy low, and then it'll take up. Let's see, let it read his extension. Now I'm more familiar with the timing of gold, right? Like when to trade it. But let's see. All right, perfect. This one hit take profit. All right, so now we have another bullish impulse. Simply fib in that direction. There goes the 50% line. Excuse me, of the green line. That's our entry. Stop loss here. Take it to the extension of the fib or the projections. Whichever you like based on your reward. Okay, there it goes. And there it is. Okay. That's literally what we're trying to do every day, guys. The only thing about it, it's timing, right? Timing. I'm more familiar with the intraday goal of time. Okay. I'm more familiar with this. Other pairs may be slightly different, especially the yen pairs, right? They'll probably move better in other times and so. Okay. But other than that, guys, this concludes kind of the quick tutorial on this. We will be uploading it over to the YouTube channel on the Trade Lounge. I'll share the link on the Discord for that. I'm noticing that requests are coming in for the indicator. If you haven't gotten it, make sure to activate the Discord. Let's see here. All right, so remember, guys, when you join, like if your name is in white, you're in, but you don't have access to a lot of things. You don't have access to the chat, but you're in. When you do join, though, go to request your role, like Albert just did, and then I will do this. Trade Lounge, and there he goes. His name is Purple, and he's good to go. And then he'll come here to the request indicator. Give me your trading view name, and I'll add you. But see, Mr. John here, he requested it, but his name is Purple, so I can't give him access until he first checks it. Okay, just something just allows me to people are checking in. I know who he is though, so I'll message him, and then I'll be giving these indicator requests here momentarily. But other than that, guys, the gold chart feed, you'll have access to this on a daily basis. I'm trying to create a habit. I'm posting consistently on Instagram, like my marker for the day. But on the lounge chat, right? Like technically right now, the lounge chat, it's only open on Wednesdays. So right now it's closed. Okay, well, we're open it. We'll be more active on it on Wednesdays, the lounge chat. Okay, you can still chime in there. It just won't be a priority. Okay, the priority is usually for the academy or the legacy chat. But other than that, guys, yeah, I'm really happy with this update. I think it's going to help me, just be more consistent where the support and resistance levels are at. Find opportunity with good entries, not chase price too much, and be patient with the setups. Okay, be patient.
Money, I got a question.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, so I kind of understand that you say when the price action either is below or above that green line, above maybe is buys or below it sells. But if you get in the sell and then it goes above the green line, how should you be thinking about that? Because now you kind of don't know.
Okay, Good observation. Good question. And it all goes back to buying low and sell high theme, right? That's everything. So for example, here, price pushes down, okay? And because it pushed down, we're looking for a sell. Okay. So this line right here represents the high of the line represents the price level of 33.60. Okay, on the right hand side. Okay. The low of the line represents 33.25. Okay. So our job is to buy low and sell high because the impulse is down. That's why we use the fib from high to low. Okay. And think about it like like shopping, I guess you could say, right? Think of it like like we're shopping in this scenario, okay? Or you're selling something. If you're selling something and then the price drops, right? You want to sell it again only when it's a little bit higher, close to your original sell price, right? So I'm getting a little technical here, right? But again, so you'll do whatever it takes. You'll create news, you create, some type of something to increase the prices back up. So the next time you sell, okay, at least you're selling very near your original price. So let's say I'm gonna sell at 61%. Okay, so 61%, the price level of that is 33.45, give or take. Okay. Let it update. All right, there it is. So my entries are from 33.45. My stop loss is at 33.60. You do your risk management based on that entry to stop loss, and then you take it back down. No matter what happens in between, price can immediately just go to your take profit and you win. It can immediately go to your stop loss and take you out. It can dance around the stop loss area and then come back down. It can dance around your take profit area and then, I mean your area of profit, and then go back up and then it go back down. Regardless, all right, you want this thing to play out and reach your destinations.
Got you.
Okay. So when it comes back to the boxes, we're in the same scenario here. The box system represents that impulse, right? So we have a fib from high to low. Okay. Let me go ahead and hide the drawings real quick. Okay. The system right now it's all red, right? Because the highest level is there and the lowest candle is here. So that's why the big box is red. The medium box is red because the midline, the green line, is actually below the midpoint of that. So that's two confirmations that we're more bearish. The small box is red simply because the 17 midline is below the 52. So yes, the candlesticks right now are above the the points, but the momentum, the structure of the momentum is more bearish, right? Is more bearish. So we simply just kind of hang on to the setup, hang on to the setup, and we're technically selling right now, give or take around 50%.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You see that? My pleasure. Glad you understood that. All right, and it's just a matter of waiting for it to come down. So we're in a decent area to position ourselves. Now this box turns blue. Okay, we may have to cut it, take the loss. But as long as it stays red, we're good. Anybody else? Any more questions? We welcome the questions. No problem. Give you guys as much insight as possible. But if not, gold today was choppy. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's no denying that.
I got
But
one more question.
Yes.
If you wanted to see your strategy from, step by step by step, because I mean, the SMT you have, but you have the sessions and you have the all these other indicators, and I'm trying to find a way that I can go step by step and get to the promised land or not.
Gotcha. So
And that's what I'm looking for.
the strategy, um, Diana, is the SMT system.
Okay.
Everything else is just adding confirmation, right? Like my wife here in the family, they love eating pho, right? They love eating pho. Pho is the water, some noodles, and the meat, right? That's
Right.
the SMT. But some people, I just like to put lime on my pho, a little bit of jalapeno, and I'm good to go. But some people put the sriracha, some people put the bean sprout, some people put everything else that makes it look delicious, but I just simply I don't prefer it that way. So again, though, right, the S&T system is that simple bowl of right? Everything else just kind of to confirm. So good example here. I'm looking for sales, right? Now when I go to the sessions indicator or the session section, that's how it looks. Okay. Now, what is this communicating to me? Well, okay, we're inside of the yellow range. Price struggles in there a lot. It doesn't like to move, right? The low of Asia is a resistance and support. Excuse me, the low of Asia is resistance. The the high of Asia, I got it backwards. Support and resistance. You guys know what I mean, right?
Right.
So those are just things that kind of just puts the brakes or adds fuel to the fire of your position. That's all it is. So, but to make it as simple as possible, okay, on an intraday basis, and I like that question because it allows me to recap it that way. It is the SMT. This is all you need. This is all you need, and everything else will come with experience and just hearing it more. But this is basically what you need to give you that simple confirmation to get us started and find a decent entry.
And pretty much the 5 minute, not the hour or
Correct. The 5 minutes. The 5 minute is where you, especially if you're gold, the 5 minute is where the setup is. And
okay.
again, the 2 minute, that again is kind of more okay. How does the 2 minute look type of thing? The 1 hour, okay, how does it look over here? But no, the 5 minute is the one you want to tackle in on an intraday level.
Okay. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
my pleasure. Here to assist. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate the attendance, and we'll be putting this in the uploading of the YouTube channel as soon as possible. Any questions? We're through the Discord. Feel free to invite anybody to the Discord with the links, and we'll keep at it. We'll close it out. Thank you.